Hello, good evening, and welcome to Newcastle X-Wing. I'm your host for the evening, I'm Steve, and I am joined this evening by Ian. I'll just bring him in. Say hello, Ian.
Hello, hello.
We've got a Newcastle X-Wing League game lined up for you tonight. We have got Sean playing Russell. Russell's on the left-hand side. Sean is on the right-hand side. The betting is open, and it is hit 1 for Russell, hit 2 for Sean. We might as well take you straight to the board where they're just setting up the ships. And then we can talk you through what's going on, etc., and who's got what. Do you want to start, Ian, or should I? Who do you want to do?
Well, I'm all for easiness, so I think if I go for Sean, he's rocking 8, count them, 8 Epsilon Squadron cadets. No upgrades. I can remember what his list does. It's perfect. Classic Swarm.
And Russell has gone for something similar, but a swarm of Jedis, 5 Jedis. They are all plain Jedi Knights. They've all got the calibrated laser targeting configuration, and he has got one that also has battle meditation. I should be able to find battle meditation there.
That gives
Battle
you the purple
meditation.
coordinate.
It does indeed. I'm just going to try and bring the card up onto the screen so that people can see it. Helps if I hit the right buttons. Battle meditation. There we go. And that is in the middle of the screen now for you to look at. It actually reads very, very tiny.
Well,
It does
that's
indeed.
the wrong one. You cannot coordinate limited ships. While you perform a purple coordinate action, you may coordinate one additional friendly non-limited ship of the same type. Both ships must perform the same action.
Fab. So Russell's ships are all initiative 3 and Sean's are all initiative 1. So there's no overlap. But Russell has got a 1 point advantage, 1 point bid, and he's decided that he would go first so that he got to place the first rock. They are setting dials now. They've placed their rocks. I'll remind them and get rid of those markers, otherwise they'll end up cheating and using them as guides. And then as soon as they are ready, we will start the action. This is going to be an interesting lineup, I think. I'm looking forward to this.
Definitely. Obviously, on paper, Russell has the far more agile ships. He is used to flying A-wings, but as far as I know, obviously with the way the league worked out, I think this is his first shot with the Republic.
It is, yes. This is their first game.
Aye. I mean, it's a good ship to start with.
Yeah. So the rules of the league for everyone at home are that we were all assigned a faction that we don't play. It was done pretty much randomly. A couple of people volunteered, and then the rest were just randomly attributed to people. We all play each other, so we play 1 game a week. There's 7 of us, so 1 person gets a bye each week, and we end up where everybody's played everyone. And this is week 1. And I'm just going to very quickly jump into. Have they started the
They've
clock?
started the clock.
Fabulous.
So on their way.
I did just get a message saying, "Can we start?" And before I could even tell them yes, they've jumped in and done it anyway, which is cool. The only rule that we have, I think the only rule we've got, Ian, is that right? I've not actually played the game yet. That limited ships can only be used once in the league. Is that right?
Yeah, just in an effort to obviously try and mix up lists. It's a good excuse to fly a lot, ships that you wouldn't normally fly. Have a play around with new ships and that, and hopefully have a laugh.
Yeah, just a bit of fun. And we've already had one game played. You and Tom played, didn't you? And
We don't need to talk about that game.
Okay, we'll not talk about that game. This is the second.
No,
this
we
is the second game.
had an excellent game. I took 3 of the Sith infiltrators. I have flown Dooku a few times, but I wanted to try the other ones. Unfortunately, turned out taking 3 large Agility 1 ships against 4 ships with protons was not a smart move.
Mm.
It was a close game, pretty much because I ran away quite a bit. But it was a good game. That's all you can do when you're facing off against 4 ships like that. And Tom flew really well.
We decided to stream this list tonight. Well, Ian suggested we stream this game tonight because of, in part, due to the comment that the current world champion, Mr. Ali Bucknell, made today on social media, that he's going to take a little bit of a break from tournament play because he feels that it's all just generics and it's basically turning into a dice rolling competition, and the current meta, the current tournament play is broken. And I think everyone's pretty much in agreement with spam text, etc., that it is broken. So it'll be
what I will
interesting.
say is this obviously wasn't planned. It was just a case of everybody submits their list in secret, and with the comments that were made that day, it just seemed sort of right to run this. Obviously, you've got a much more classic swarm in the form of the ties here, and you do have a smaller swarm with a lot of tricks, but not quite as many tricks as obviously spam text. You can block these ships, you can pounce on them. You've got to be able to fly them well. And in light of obviously the comments that were made today, it, like I say, it just seemed right to run this game.
Yeah. And we'll see if anyone can beat Russell, because he's pretty much unbeatable at the moment, isn't he? He seems to have the look of the Irish.
Yeah, it's definitely something.
Yeah, he's flying well though.
For the dice pack.
Yeah, he's playing well. You can't say he's just getting lucky, because he's not. He is playing well.
Well, this is it. I mean, you can have good dice rolls, you can have bad dice rolls, but you've got to get your ships in the position to roll the dice. And he's consistently doing that.
Yeah. Interesting first few moves, yeah. I don't know whether or not.
I was quite surprised with obviously Sean splitting the swarm up. He did deploy first, and looking at the board as it's set out, I would have thought he'd maybe have set up on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, I would have thought that would make more sense and try and do a pincer movement. Either try to force his Jedis to go through the objects and decrease the ability to use their repositioning, or have them so that they've got to choose one side or the other to engage. So I'm surprised he's taken it centre and top.
It's forced him to split his swarm up, and now he's got to get the top 4 around before those 5 Jedis pick apart the bottom 4. I just think if he had started on the bottom, maybe his first move would have gotten him past the debris, and then worst case scenario, you end up on gas, but you're not taking damage from it. I don't know. I'm sure he's got a cunning plan.
Well, it'll either be genius or it'll be idiotic, one of the two, because that's the way he rolls, isn't it?
Well, he gets it right 50-50, Ty.
That's a fair assessment. For those in chat that have tuned in slightly late, the betting is open. If you want to hit !bet space 1 space number of points for Russell, and it's 2 for Sean. Russell's the player on the left-hand side, and Sean's the player on the right-hand side.
I think it's hard to bet against Russell at the minute with the form he's on, but I'm going to back Sean for this one.
And I'm just going to check that this bot hasn't turned itself off again, because nope, it hasn't. That's cool. Check reliably. Because for some reason we've got somebody who has asked for points.
Right, well, it looks like all the dials are set.
And has got points. Wampa Pattern Ballness, you've got 520 points. I don't know why it hasn't brought it up on screen. It should have. Let's check the betting. Okay, Sean has bet on himself. Very brave.
Well, this is a league, so you've really got to be backing yourself, haven't you?
You have, yeah.
Obviously, there's some lovely tight maneuvers here with the ties. Oh, I didn't like that one though. Is pink gonna not crash? Unless he's splitting them.
Possibly. Unless he's thinking he can get 2 passes, the first group moving through, and then the second group following behind, so that he ends up with, in effect, 2 lots of 4 gunships against the 5. I'm not sure it's a good plan, though.
I don't know. He seemed to have everything with a 2 hard there, and that barrel will just gone his way. We'll have to see how it goes. Obviously flying his swarm in, I believe people call it the traditional box style. Keeps your ships tight, obviously for getting through lanes and all that. The only issue I've found is once you start banking, because you're that tight, sometimes you can have issues with bumping.
Well, we're going to have some engagement here, so I need to close the betting at some point soon. I don't think that our viewer count is going to be very high here, considering that, let's have a look, currently Gold Squadron for the final of their current tournament have got 436 viewers. It doesn't leave us very many to come and watch it.
Yeah, we did not think that one through.
However, I'm guessing that will come to a complete end about halfway through our stream, so it might work out beneficial. We might get people jumping in there.
I've not actually had a look to see who's flying what.
I did look earlier, but I don't know who's in the final. You never know. We might. Dion might take pity on us and raid us. That would be something freaky.
I'm not sure the Ashen internet would cope.
It doesn't affect it. Our internet doesn't affect the raid. The chat would go mental, but other than that, it doesn't actually use our internet at all. So
that would be fine. Which it's red, isn't it, with the force upgrade?
Yes, red's got the battle meditation. Yeah, I asked them for a Yasby URL and the colours for the ships, so that I can set up the overlay. And off Sean, I got a list of what ships and no colours. I didn't get the link. I got a list of ships. And off Russell, I got a link and no colours. So I was like, right, okay, guys, I'm just going to tell you what colours your ships are going to be.
Too right.
When I saw how many there were,
I'm
I was like,
surprised.
when I saw how many, I thought, right, okay, there's that many ships there. There's no way that I'm sitting here waiting during setup for Sean to colour code all those ships because the game will never get started.
I'm actually surprised. Like, I can well imagine him not sending colours, but I thought he would have named them all at least.
I was fully expecting that's his normal trick that he gives them all a name, which is fine because that works. The colours are better, to be fair, for an immediate for viewing.
Yeah.
But I know he does like to name them random names that don't seem to fit. But that's all good. First engagement. Patterns closed. Three hits and evades all three.
I'm just looking in the chat to see what Ray did. He went for a target lock and didn't get it, no?
Um, did he forget to take an action?
I would have liked to have seen him maybe coordinate a focus to a couple of the ships I'd had to lock, maybe.
Jedi Knight banked left one. Check the target in front of. No targets. Yeah, you went for target lock and didn't get it. It crit and evades.
The strength of the 4 agility dice.
Yeah. This is the problem with these CLTs. They're nice and agile, having the 3 dice agility and the reposition, but they don't punch a great deal. The CLT does help if you can get in bullseye.
I've seen it do very nasty things once you get close.
Yes. If you can get in bullseye into range 1 and you get those 4 dice, and if you can manage to get it a target lock and keep your 4s, then
I know obviously a lot of people will obviously go for Delta 7
yeah,
with the likes of Anakin, just for that extra punch and that, but I've seen
I'm not
Anakin
a
blank
fan.
too
I'm not a
many
fan.
times.
Yeah.
And once you take once you take a couple of hits with that, especially with the cost of Anakin, you're running
Yeah.
for the rest of the game. Unless you've
Yeah.
got R2 or something on there, obviously regen.
Yeah.
But like I say, once you get in close and you've got that extra reposition from your fine tuned, more often than not, they're hitting the extra dice.
We've got damage on blue. Got a wounded pilot and he's lost a shield. So already we've got half points, or Russell's got half points, I should say. What else have we got? Have I missed anything else? Nope. I always forget to keep the overlay up to date. It's one of those things that it's just out of my eye line, and it's out of sight, out of mind.
Right. The annoying thing is, obviously, that's a point in the game where you focus on things.
It is, yeah, yeah,
Movement. It's not as complicated as obviously, you get to the combat, you've got to keep track of the dice rolls and all that. It is an easy thing to overlook.
Let's have a look and see what Sean's doing. Okay, that's interesting.
Voltron, you can vote for Eno Connor to lose. We quite often manage to lose even when we're not playing.
I'm just being cheeky here because I'm in Games Master mode. I can see what they're setting on the dial, so I'm using my advantage.
Well, I was looking at the bottom group in there, and obviously, because I've been trying to learn how to fly droids for this
Yeah,
league,
yeah.
I keep just assuming that anything in a swarm can't bank, and I'm mentally trying to do that. Does the 3 get around the gas? But now these ships can bank.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the dial is on them. Let's have a look.
I know they don't do slow very well, but they do everything else pretty well.
Yeah,
Just need to hope that he can get these other ships involved.
yeah. I think I missaw what he typed, what he clicked on, because it doesn't make sense if I'm right. If I did see it right, what he's going to do with that top half swarm. I think I missaw it.
Well, your opponent can't guess where you're going if you don't know where you're going, right?
This is very true. It is a valid tactic.
Unfortunately, we're not playing in person, so you can't just randomly spin your dial without looking.
Yeah, well, that's always a good tactic. It works. It's about as useful as me picking the move.
Yeah, it's funny because it's true of just about all
Yeah, I still haven't forgiven you for ionizing us off the board.
Well, I mean, I'd argue that you should have really dodged it.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
No, it was
That was a fun game.
it was definitely an odd one though. You
Yeah,
had you'd pulled yourself around to get into a good position. Next turn you were gonna get in behind us, and it's just one of them freak things.
yeah.
Well,
Unfortunate.
you ended up stressed, and all your hard turns become red.
Yeah. Yeah, for the benefit of people in chat, I was flying a Han Falcon, Rebel Falcon, and he was, what was he, about a base and a half? No, a bit slightly more. He was
He was at the point where we were thinking that a 1 forward was the only move that wasn't gonna get him off the table. So at least he'd have another round of shooting.
yeah, because the one previous I'd been ionized and had to move forward. Otherwise, I'd have plenty of room to turn.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's choosing violence here.
Violence. But he had to try and get his numbers to bear. It's the biggest strength at the minute. And
Yeah.
as it stood, it was 5-on-4.
And he rolled for the wounded pilot, and it was clear.
Excellent.
Well, he's arc dodged one with blue so
It's a
far
good move, that.
because they've got to move here. I've got a feeling green could bump here. That could work out well for Sean.
I really like the way he spread his TIE fighters out there on the back. Your 3 banks aren't going to get you past.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering whether or not the bump will park him in between them. But because he's got the ties coming in from the side, even then, he's going to get shot.
Yeah. And if the green Ether Sprite bumps the green tie, then potentially you could end up with dodging all the way along, all the way back. And that
Yeah.
wouldn't be good for Russell. But then what's Russell thinking that he would actually do? That's the thing.
Wait,
That's the first one. That is the first one. Who's he moving next?
What happens now?
Is he going to move them out of order because he knows they're going to bump? In order to sacrifice one, that's another bump. Right, where's he going to put yellow? What move has he selected for yellow? All right, okay, so
The
yellow
thing is,
fits.
if red can land, at least effectively he can give up his action to give 2 of those guys actions. If he decides he's going to pick on green, for instance, he could barrel roll a couple of ships.
Pink bumped and red bumped. Now you see, I think I would have been tempted not to move blue there, knowing that it was going to bump green, and move red, so that red was clear and fit in behind green, and suffer just the one bump from blue.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how this pans out. He's
Okay,
got a
so
lot of
we've got
ships that don't have an action, but you can always fall back on the force if needed.
yellow in bullseye with CLT and a focus onto blue.
Oh, he's gone violent. So that's a hit crit. And that's the first casualty of the match. Rest in peace, Mr. Blue. Cadet 4, which ones? Yep, so he killed
He's killed
blue,
yeah.
and he's pushed the damage through onto red, I think.
Red's lost a shield. And takes one.
Oh, he's just clipping the bullseye.
Oh, excellent. He's using these CLTs well.
Effectively using his own ships to steal them.
Yeah.
That was unlucky though.
Now, had he that was blue, wasn't it? So had he not bumped, then he would have had the focus, and that would have been pretty bad. Okay, let's see what happens here then, because if he moved it in the other order, then he would have had the focus. As it is, there's 2 hits and a crit, and all 3 go through as he's spending the focus. Has he got a focus?
This is the thing. He's thinking it through. Nope. 2 hits and a crit. Go through onto green. That is green dead. Green from the looks of it, yeah.
That was quick. Wowzers.
So he's just managed to get in the range there.
Yeah. 2 against 4. 1 hit. Easily evades.
Oh. His dice hadn't calmed doing anything.
No, not at all. He's not concentrating on flying because he's managing to find time to type in chat !quote. And he's got quote number 6. Do or do not, there is no try. Okay, 2 hits. Spend
better.
focus. Spends force to take 1 and loses a shield on green. That's first damage Russell's taken. Okay, and rightly targets yellow onto green. Uses the strip chip. And he'll spend the focus. Yeah, of course he is for 2 hits. And Russell takes another one onto green.
Chipping away.
It is, very much so.
Obviously, Russell managed to take out the ones that had the range 1 shot, which is a shame, but because Sean managed to get his ships down first, obviously he gets his actions. He knows he's not taking any more shots.
And that's 2 cards onto green. That is a dead Jedi Knight. No, it's not. Tell a lie. You've still got 1 left. One health. Green is dead. Blue is dead. Red has got 12 points. And that's all the shooting, isn't it? Back to dials.
Think so, yeah.
And the scores on the doors are Russell's leading by 63 points to 20.
Can't imagine anybody's having an easy time of setting that dials now.
No, this is going to be interesting, isn't it?
You've flown the Jedi fighters a fair bit. What's that turnaround?
They have got, let's think, the
Just put you on the spot there.
deltas you have, but I can tell you very quickly, they have got, they haven't got a one straight, but they've got every other straight, and the twos and threes are blue. Their one banks and two banks are blue. They've then got hard ones, hard twos, and three banks. They're all white. They've got a 4K, a 5K, and they've got two sloops.
So they've got a mix of sloops and Ks.
Yes, and they're obviously red. You did put us on the spot there. I had to think what I was flying.
Ties have got 4Ks and two sloops as well.
Yeah. I'm thinking that they must be on to the final of Mustafa and GSP, but of course they're not because our clocks went back. I think they should be in between the semi-final and the final at this stage. Russell's having a bit of a debate here, I think.
Oh, Russell said his last one there. It looks like everything's set. I'm interested to see what Sean's going to do with red and yellow. Oh, it does fit.
Wow. Nice flying. Of course, we don't know where Sean's putting it. Ooh, that could be a nice blocker.
Turn in to try and get in Russell's way.
Yeah.
And then I think the rest of the swarm's just going to try and pile in. Oh, that's pretty good as well.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I think the
on
plan
flying.
is to try and get him to bunch up again.
Yeah. He's trying to get those blocks and stop those Jedi's from getting the focus or target lock to go with the force. He's stopping the double mod, isn't he? Or attempting to.
And obviously, if they don't complete the maneuver, they don't even get the fine tune.
No.
It's a 5 straight blast past.
Yeah, if anybody who's watching in chat, the fine tune control says that when the ship has fully completed a maneuver, it may then spend a force to perform a boost or barrel roll action. So the onus is very much there that the move must be fully completed.
Which he's just demonstrated there with a boost round.
Yeah. Green is the one that has the damage on. He's on half points. So I think that's a good move, disengaging him. He's very much protecting his points, isn't he?
Yeah.
Russell always tends
And I
to be
like the
very
fact,
aware of the time on the clock. I don't know what it is, but
definitely.
he's always aware of the time on the clock. I often find when I play, I get caught, I get lost in the game, and the time it feels like it's passing quick or it feels like it's passing slow, but I don't really have much of an idea exactly how much time has passed. Whereas Russell always seems to have a good grasp on that. And that's
Yeah.
another bump.
And I mean, he's getting green out of the way, but obviously because of the agility, he can look to see where everything ends up this turn, and he's still in a good position to pull around and get it, a couple of shots with him before he completely disengages.
Yeah.
So it looks like we're going into combat.
It does indeed. Two crits. Can't ask for better than that.
Don't need mods. And
And
this isn't a pink, yeah?
I think so.
So he spends a focus and evades 2.
This is into purple. Range 1.
Cadet 8 at range 1.
It's a hit and a crit. Does he spend the force? He does. Ooh, brave. Two hits and a crit. And only evades 1. Does he have the force? No, he'd already stripped him of it. So takes a shield, and the crit is weapons failure.
Weapons failure.
On purple.
That's the worst feeling with a 2 dice attack, like
It is,
when
definitely.
you're waiting for your shot.
And that was another half points by Russell. He's chipping them away.
Yeah.
2 hits and a focus. Does he spend the force? He does. For 3 hits. 3 hits from
Gonna
blue.
be another TIE fighter down.
Takes 2.
Believe that was on purple, yeah.
It was, yeah. And that's another dead TIE fighter.
Well, there you go. You don't need force for defense if you kill everything in front of you.
This is very true. Has he got orange at range 1? Is it just in? What does the chat say?
That's Cadet 7.
7 is at range 1. He's got the range 1. Range 1 bullseye. Because he's taken it into 3, into yellow. And he's spending the force.
Come
2
on,
hits and a
Sean.
crit. A hit and a crit go through.
I think he's got a focus.
He's got a
on
focus,
that.
yeah. Does he spend the focus? He's got to spend the focus. Oh, he hasn't. Lost the shield, and the crit is fuel leak. That's nasty.
I think Sean's just looking to get some points back.
I think he is, but he's well, he's going to have to start doing
he's
something
still
because he's losing 101 to 20 at the moment. Tom in chat says it's always good to see Sean losing. Brings a nice warmth to my heart. One crit and evades. That was the downtown shot, wasn't it? The range 3.
It was in the red, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, okay. He's taking it into blue. 3 dice attack. From yellow into blue.
I think he's hoping he can get a couple of shots under the
Spends a
one with no
focus for
force
2.
on him.
And 1 goes through. Blue loses the shield.
Oh. So he needs one more in blue to get half.
Yes. 1 and evades. And this one is teal. And it's in bullseye. Jedi Knight 2. Range 2 in bullseye. And again evades.
And evades again.
Taking into blue again. Range 2 in bullseye again. Still only 2
Just got to
dice.
push that one through.
Yep. Hit crit.
Oh, that was better. That was better.
And the crit goes through.
Crit's gone through.
And what's the crit going to be? Structural damage. End of round. That was an interesting round. So, Russell now leads 101 points to 40.
Yeah,
And
you've got to believe that he's just gonna bug out with that damage one again.
yeah,
He's got
to,
his
hasn't
focus back. He's gonna try and bully another TIE fighter.
he? Or there's a chance that he could, because he knows that the purple is purple going to want to engage the green delta on its own, or is it going to keep going straight? In which case, if he thinks it's going to go straight, he has got that double reposition. He can bank in.
Yeah.
He can bank in and get a side-on shot.
Either way, he's got to fancy his chances.
He has to, yeah.
He's moving after it. He's got double position.
Yeah. Sean's been doing very well at making him bump, though. And he has been a bit unlucky with the dice rolls.
Yeah. Again, though, you've got that natural ability to mod dice with the force, and Russell's played it quite aggressively. He's happily spent it every time, and just pushed through enough damage to take a ship off the board.
And when you've got the 3 dice in defense against the 2, then mathematically you have got that sort of your average rolls are going to keep you safe. So in theory, you shouldn't need the force.
You've got to blank out.
Yeah.
Or the ties have got to be consistent in order to push damage through.
I'm interested to see how Russell repositions here. I think there's a good argument here for some Ks and some sloops.
This is it. I mean, he came in aggressively.
Yeah.
Because I've been trying to think, obviously, for the amount of turns that it took him to engage. Really, if Sean had hard wand towards the bottom of the screen with these two swarms, 5 forward, I think Russell still would have gotten a round of combat against a swarm by itself.
Yeah. Well, it answers one question. Playing on TTS, I don't think flying swarms is any slower on TTS than flying a 3 or 4 ship list.
Wait, obviously, I'm quite lucky with a tamed son at home. I can play proper games.
Yeah.
And what I found, the one thing that I really enjoy about this is obviously it performing the maneuvers for you.
Yeah.
Because when you're running a swarm, you bump everything.
Mm-hmm.
You don't mean to. Right, so
We've got a
TIE fighter.
We've got a lot of things. I think people are forgetting a little bit when we get back to in real life play. It's going to be interesting seeing people getting really frustrated at the fact that they've got to, when they bump, they've got to figure out how to place the ships, and I think genuinely people will get frustrated by it.
Like I say, it's absolutely brilliant putting your toys on the table and rolling actual dice.
Yeah.
But that is the one thing, like I say, when you go into the move and you're like, oh god, I've got to move 2 ships to get the template in, and but it's part of the fun.
It is, yeah. It's part of the camaraderie with it as well, because you can't do it on your own. Your opponent has to help you.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about
everybody's looking to make sure that it's done cleanly and that, so it does become a team effort.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it, the number of times that something like that happens, and you just need somebody to pinch your ship or to place a template for you, or just little things like that.
Just stick a finger on a ship, aye.
Yeah. Or just to mark a position.
Well, I don't think green gets.
I think he
out of pink's arc.
I think he fine-tune controls to
and
barrel
keeps
roll
a shot
left.
on
Yeah.
them.
I think he's deciding what to do
You
with.
can get out arc, but obviously you're not. There's no way you're going to get a shot on pink. You could boost round to the top of the screen.
He can get a shot from green. He can get a shot on a pink. He can barrel roll left.
I think he's already moved on.
He's still deciding. Yeah, he's still deciding what to do.
Jedi Knight. According to the chat, Jedi Knight 4 turned left. And then Jedi Knight 3. Right, it looks like he's accidentally barrel rolled the wrong ship.
Right. That makes sense. He's taking the boost. All right, okay.
I'm not a fan of that.
I'm not a fan of that, because he's barrel rolled right and then boosted round. He's used up his action, and he's still in arc. Whereas he could have barrel rolled left. If he barrel rolled left, he would have had the bullseye, and he could have just focused and used his CLT, get some range 1 with the 4th dice.
Or he could have boosted to the right and then barrel rolled left and just avoided the arc and ran.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that. I think that's the worst move he's made so far.
Well, the only issue is obviously the sheer amount of Jedi fighters that are this side of Mr. Pink.
Yeah.
If you can get a couple of shots into him, there's no reason why Green can't put a damage through and finish him off. But
I just
I think
think
that was a risk.
yeah. I
We'll see
think
if it pays off.
I think he needed to. We'll see where he's moving other things round, but I think he needed to do the barrel roll left, take the focus, and then with him having the CLT, having the fourth dice, he can then he can theoretically he can one shot it.
Aye. If Jedi Knight 1, which is the red one, if that gets a nice bank round and boosts in. Oh.
Sean, stop lurking in chat. Play a game. He's saying stop picking on Russell. I'm not picking on Russell at all. I think Russell's flying very well.
This is my first chance to pick on Russell.
It is.
He had the nerve to fly perfectly the other week, and that's not on.
Yeah, his game. What day was it? Was it Thursday night? Yeah, Thursday night. He pretty much did fly perfectly, didn't he? Okay, so that
It was phenomenal to watch.
It was. Okay, he's taking it into pink from red. He's trying to strip that token to give green the chance to put some damage through. And I just think the way that he's played that. Okay, that's 2.
But castle change 1.
Yeah. So you evades it. Mm. So here's a question for you. Let's assume that he had barrel rolled left. So he's got the 4 dice and he's got the focus because it's in bullseye. He's then also got the range 3 shot through the gas cloud from red onto pink. Which does he do first?
Me personally, I would have gone with red first. Because you might have been tempted with green to spend the focus that you took to put a couple of points of damage in, and then red might have whiffed. In which case you've dropped your defenses for nothing.
And
Whereas if red had put a couple of points of damage in, and your focus would have gotten 3 hits.
Well, we've been talking that's a dead yellow.
So this is the tie on the green. Can he squeeze one through? It's a good start.
It is. Evades.
But
okay, so
take it back. Russell's cunning plan was to just natty.
Yeah, so he hasn't been punished for it. I still think it was the wrong move, but he hasn't been punished for it. Range 1 into blue from red.
He's keeping the pressure on the damage ships anyway.
Oh,
that's
2 crits. Why is he only rolled 2?
Naturally rolled.
He needs another die.
He's got
he has, yes.
Crit on him.
Yes,
structural damage.
Has, yeah. You are indeed correct. Oh, let's
Oh,
focus.
and that's the end of the. He was unlucky to not get anything there.
He was. Very. So what have we got? Um, we've got a dead purple. We've got a dead green. We've got a dead yellow. And we've got a dead blue. And then we've got half points on red. Just double check. Half points on red. Dead blue, dead yellow, dead green, dead purple. And the other three are all at full health. And on the other side, we have got pink at full health, yellow down to 1. Is it yellow down to 1? No, sorry, green. Green down to 1. I can't quite check on blue yet because it's covered, but it's got a crit on it. It should be down to 2. Have you got one card on him? Yep, 1 card on him, and red is at full health. So the scores on the doors at the moment, Russell leads 113 to 40. "17 minutes left on the clock."
I like the fact that Sean's already done most of his turning around,
Yeah.
so he should be getting shots his turn. But I'm not sure whether or not he's going to have many actions. Trying to find a spot to land.
Uh-huh. You have a message.
Eh?
I was just saying you've got a message. I just heard your phone vibrate.
Aye, that can't be good. Not at this time of night.
Oh, okay. Where's he going to go here then?
So what are we looking at? Sean's got to kill. He's got to finish off the 2 damage ones and kill another one
Yeah, he needs
to
he
take
needs
the lead.
74 points to take the lead. So where's he going to get 74 from? The 39 apiece. So that's 60, 60, 78. So he needs to kill 2.
That will get him to around about 80.
Um,
Because he's already got. If he finishes off the 2 injured ones,
if he finishes
and
off
then
the
he
two
still
two
needs.
injured ones, then that's going to be 44, another 44 points. So that's going to be 64. So he's still going to need. He needs 3 halves, doesn't he? Is that right?
If he could take out the more expensive one.
Isn't it amazing how you can do maths without any issues whatsoever until you start adding up points in X-Wing?
Oh yeah. I'm sure ships' points change during the game.
I
When
think
you're
they do.
convinced you're ahead.
Yeah. This is
I
true.
remember the last event that we went to at Beanie. I had taken Boba and Finn,
Uh-huh.
and I was playing against Jess, of Jess and Lewis fame, and we finished the game, and Boba was halved.
Yeah.
I had taken out Vader, I had taken out the Reaper, I had damaged the other ships, and she was convinced I had it. She was
Uh-huh.
convinced I had won, and
Uh-huh.
we pointed it up, and she'd beaten us by a point.
Oh, right. Russell really has disengaged here with Green. He's protecting that ship.
There's because, like I say, with Sean having all of his ties turned around,
Yeah.
I like the fact that he's just done that now.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be in the situation he was there, where he's taking a couple of shots,
And
especially if it's not through the
he's
gas.
doing the same with Yella. He's really disengaging to come back in, isn't he?
But he could get away at this point with disengaging with everybody. He's
Yeah, he could.
way ahead on points.
Yes. And he knows that.
Take a couple of turns to regroup and come back in.
Oh, that's interesting.
So what's Jedi Knight 5 going to do here?
This is the question.
Currently in 3 TIE fighters off.
He has to take focus, doesn't he? He can't.
He boost out a red arc. Um,
And he has done. He's going to try and take out Teal, isn't he? But he can't.
right.
Oh, right. Okay. No, that works. Yes, he can. So he's
He's got a
boosted.
focus. He's
Yeah.
definitely got him bullseye.
Yeah. So he possibly can one shot him. It's theoretically possible. Not very likely, but it's possible. But the way the Sean's dice have been going, nothing would surprise me at this
I was just gonna say, don't say that. Don't jinx the lad.
Okay, and gets away with his roll for his crit.
Which of the 2 ties is damaged? Is it the bottom one?
The damage ties are
Because we've got 2 that look red.
Yes. The red one at the very bottom of the board, that is damaged. That's down to, it's lost a shield, and it's lost one hull. It's down to 2 hull.
Oh, right, we've got shots.
We've got range 1.
Looks
Reads it.
like he's just accepting a miss.
Yeah. Take the range 1 again in from yellow into red. What can he get? Hitting 2 focus.
Oh,
Spends the force. Spends the focus. And 3 hits go through. And that is a dead red. That tactic works.
yeah.
Initiative kill them. They can't shoot you back, can they? Hit, crit. Oh, nice.
Oh.
It only takes a crit. What's the crit going to be? It's into blue. Crit is wounded pilot. We now have structural damage and wounded pilot both on blue. He takes a range 1 into pink. Is he? No, he's not. He's going for the range 2 into blue. He's trying to finish blue off. No, oh, changed his mind. Which way is he going? He
That's
whips.
range 1 then.
Yeah.
The range 2 obstructed, especially with the way Russell's rolling.
Yeah. Okay, now he's taking the range 3 unobstructed. And gets 1.
That's all you need.
And evades.
That's all Russell needs.
And around again. 1, 1, full, full, full. 1, 1, full, full, full. That's right on that side. And on the other side, we've got full, 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 and everything else is dead. That's right, isn't it? Yes. And that gives Russell is winning 125 points to 40.
So do we reckon Blue's just running?
I think Blue's going to run now, yeah, because he's down to one hull.
And you've effectively got 3 full health Jedi Knights against 3 ties.
Yes. And the maths on that one definitely works out in favour of the Jedi's. I would say.
Yeah.
He's using this force well.
He is.
He hasn't used battle meditation though, has he?
No. But the round when it would have been useful, he bumped.
Yeah.
And the other round, he's just been punching things in the face.
You see, I think if it was me, I wouldn't have taken battle meditation. I would save the points, because how many points is battle meditation? It's what? 4 points?
I've no idea. I've never used it.
Yeah, battle meditation is 4 points. if he'd not taken battle meditation, get those words out.
Put your teeth in.
Yeah, I think there's an argument to say that he takes one of the Jedi's and makes them either Varys for the extra initiative and her ability, and has a 4-point bid, or what's the other points values? Let's think. How many points more than the standard Jedi is Lumi? Lumi's too many. Let's think. How many points is Ahsoka? Ahsoka's reasonably cheap, and she's a 3.
You see, I think
Ahsoka's 44 points. You see,
Ahsoka's always the right answer.
Yeah, so that would have put him on 200 points and he wouldn't have the bid, but then there'd all be 3s initiatives, and Ahsoka would have her ability to give actions when stressed. And
the thing was, though, on the opening there, obviously, he went for a lock with red and was out of range. Now, if he had used it then, he'd effectively have been given 2 of the other ones a focus. Because opening round of combat, they're target locked.
Yeah.
I think I like it in his list. Obviously, he had that ship hanging back as more of a support ship anyway. It just became such a mess that during the second round of engagement, he couldn't get it. And when it, obviously, they're all the same pilot skill now anyway. So once you get into a mess like that, you've got the flexibility to just move in whatever order you want.
Yeah.
You're effectively you still have the ability to obviously grant actions.
Yeah. I personally would go for Ahsoka on that list all the time. I'm just double checking it does actually fit, because it's a totally moot point if it doesn't.
So Ahsoka's ability is after she completes a maneuver, she can choose a friendly ship to do an action. Is that right? I'm mixed up with another.
Yeah, after she fully completes a maneuver, she can spend a force to allow any ship range 0 to 1 to carry out an action, even when stressed.
Well, the even when stressed bit's good, but effectively what he's got is a Jedi that can do that up to range 2 and give 2 Jedi an action. Admittedly, it's the same action, but
Ahsoka doesn't fit.
I can't believe I'm arguing against Ahsoka, but
no, Ahsoka doesn't fit. How many points difference is it?
Right, so we've got yellow taking a range 3 on the red.
Yeah, the Ahsoka's 44 naked without CLT, so no, Ahsoka doesn't fit. So it's a totally moot point, and
yeah,
it's undoubtedly. The question is, do you take battle meditation or do you have the larger bid? And that's time.
That was time.
And that's 2 hits.
And the eye from...
Spends the force for 3 hits. And that is another half point on pink.
Did pink have a focuser?
No.
This is the one. Claw the points back. Range 3. This is the guy with -1 agility, though, yeah?
Yes.
How Sean? Gotta get something.
It is -1,
Take
isn't it?
2.
No, you can't do that. He's got -1.
But it's range 3.
Alright, okay, yeah. It is, you're right.
Is that it for shots?
They are looking at it. I think it is. Very quickly, let me dive in and have a listen, and I'll tell
That's
you.
looking like the end.
Lucky to do it. I think the should we go into the other
Yeah, we'll go
on
to
the
the
main
Discord.
thing.
Yeah. How do I do it? Well, wait for Steve, 'cause I think Steve will pull a win when he,
All right.
if he does.
Yeah, I think
Hope he's not-
you were really unlucky with the dice there. But
It
I think just
happens
having that CLT
Yeah,
and having the initiative just made the difference, because even though I bumped, I still got with the force.
100%. I
Still-
just couldn't push damage through.
Yeah. You were a bit unlucky not to get the damage through.
Yeah,
I thought I should have lost at least another ship, possibly ships.
Wait, sure, lost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you'd lost one ship, I'd have been happy. As it was, I got half on 2. Just couldn't. I think I set up wrong, but I don't think I flew particularly badly. Was to try bait you in with one, ham you with the other one,
Yeah.
and block. So rather than, I thought if I bring all 8 in at once, it's just going to congest up, and when it's going to just take longer, it's not going to be as many shots and things.
Yeah.
So my plan was to bring the 4 in, get them in the way, and then just get the other 4 arcs on.
Yeah.
As it was, by the time the other 4 got there, even though it was like round 2, I'd already lost 2 ties, and I was like, right. Yeah.
Hello?
Like,
Hello.
hello.
Can you hear us?
Hello,
We
hello.
can hear you absolutely fine. How
Well,
was that then,
Can you
guys?
hear her? I don't know. Can you hear
You-
us there?
You should be able to hear us now.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Is Russell talking?
Yep, we can
Hello,
hear you.
Russell. Hello, Sean.
Hello, Ian.
Okay. How did that go, guys?
So me and Russell have just been talking there. I think I completely set up wrong. My initial plan was to get 4 in and just kind of keep 4 just pinballing about and stopping Russell from going where he wants to go whilst the other 4 came in and just started hammering things. By the time, even though we're engaged turn 2, me 4 had already lost pretty much 1.5, 2 by that point, and then just got pummeled and couldn't recover from it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
that
if sorry, go on.
No, well, I was just going to say that was effectively what we're talking about. He just hit that hard when he came in.
Yeah.
Obviously, you lost your 2 that were range 1.
Yeah.
Especially when you turned around the gas. We love the way that you spread out your ships and all that. Obviously, it cut down his chances of blasting past you. You hemmed him in lovely. You managed to get a couple of the ties up from the top, but you didn't have the numbers at the point where you got to shoot because you lost your 2 range 1 shots.
Oh yeah.
He was just picking apart the targets that he needed to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was
nice.
we managed to find
Been...
we managed to pick out one occasion that we could kind of have a go at Russell about, but that was it. Other than that,
so it totally gave Russell Oh,
Oh, I was thinking of the chat, and I was like, whoa, you guys are proper talking smack against Russell for no reason. I'm like, you're like, well, his list's wrong, he's flying wrong. I'm like, I'm sitting here looking at the score going, I'm down 125. I'm down 125, and Russell's got 2 half Jedi, of which one's has a structural damage for 5 turns and being A-okay. I'm like, hold on a minute.
The only thing
there
that
was a couple of points where like he did his barrel roll out with the CLT Jedi, and like I was telling Russell now, when you should have
barrel rolled in.
You should have rolled back in and just charged.
That was the only
Even if
time.
you lost him, whoopity do.
That was
the Jedi in decent positions. It can just keep picking away.
Yeah, that was the only time.
As it was, it didn't matter anyway because I couldn't get the rest of it.
And then it turned out that he just took out of it anyway.
I was
100%.
hoping to bet a barrel roll and then he wouldn't. You know what I mean? But it didn't quite work out there. It's the I'm not used to having that double reposition on the ships yet.
It's mint, isn't it? Double reposition.
It is, yeah. But it's
like,
what was happening at the beginning, I found when I was sort of stuck in the middle when I started. Between the battle meditation, which meant I could boost or barrel roll before I even started moving, and then move and then boost or barrel roll and barrel roll. And I was trying to just do all that in my head all at the same time and just kind of confused.
That's the thing, like a flowing supernatural Obi to an event. It's that thing where you kind of sitting there, like you either like see the Matrix and it's amazing, or your brain's falling out of your ear and you're like, I'm just going to joust things because I know if I put down my 5 straight, it's fine. But like coming from playing old Imperial Aces and First Edition as well, it's fantastic the double reposition after everyone else moves. Like there was, I remember when like sort of me and him first started, it was kind of said, there's a real scale to Imperial Aces and things like that. And then the more you realise you're absolutely not, you set your dial to whatever you want to, and either you bump, in which case it doesn't matter, or you can decide on the fly exactly where you want to be on the board. And you're like, I'm just going to be out that arc. Why? Okay, cool.
Yeah, guys, the only time that we did kind of have a go at Russell was that one move where with Green when he barrel rolled out.
Yeah.
Because had he barrel rolled in, he would have then had the focus with CLT, 4 dice, and the focus at range 1. He would have had the.
No, I heard you talking bad things about him saying shuffle and Barris and stuff. Don't listen.
Well, we were discussing the benefits.
He just wants people to fly Barris.
We're just trying to discuss, obviously, the last couple of points because I really love battle meditation on there. On red.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think it was the first engagement you had target locked with red and was out of range, and we're just saying that obviously if you use the ability then. You could have either moved ships about to get bullseyes or powered focuses not on the other ships. I think it's great. It's just obviously this, for somebody that hasn't flown the list and everything before. You flew amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I've got. I think it takes a lot of practice. I nicked it off of Louis Leon.
Yeah,
it's his list. So.
Right, guys. I'm gonna end the stream. I'll leave you guys having a bit of chat, and I'll end the stream, and then jump back in and talk to you in a second or two.
Congratulations, Russell. Commiserations, Sean. Excellent game.
Yep.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. You've been watching Newcastle X-Wing. Thank you for tuning in and watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. It was a good game. We enjoyed it. We've got a lot more games like this coming up. We've got this whole league that is set, ready to go. So we'll be doing at least one of these games once a week. Keep an eye out for tonight. In a couple hours' time, hopefully we'll try and do some marbles because it's a Sunday night. And the plan is that we do one game like this a week. We do a game of marbles. And then we also do something that's a little bit different, some kind of scenario. So keep an eye out for that. We've done Aces High, Team Aces High. We've done X-Wing Mario Kart. We've got lots of other ideas. So keep an eye on the Discord. If you're not already in, please do join it. Give us a follow. Keep an eye on your notifications as we go live. And the only thing else I can say is enjoy the rest of the evening, stay safe, and have a magical day.